Amanda, 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 oh, the National Executive Committee have been to make decisions. Say, Amanda,
Let me say a pleasant good evening to everyone here present, with a special reference to our country leaders, youth leadership, women representation here present. At this time, after a long brainstorming all day, we wish to pronounce to you in a special way, the fourth estate and Liberian people honor our voices, that we have reached a decision as a body, as a National Executive Committee members. So, we quickly go to Mr. Mann, Prince Mann, who is the acting chairman for the total briefing. Thank you.
Members of the four estates, my colleagues, and members of the National Executive Committee of MOVEE, the Central Administration, I am pleased, and the public, to bring to you the resolution of the National Executive Committee members. Movement for Economic Empowerment. Office of the National Chairman, National Executive Committee, Resolution 2024-1. Knowing that Article 6, Section 2A of MOVE's bylaws and Constitution states that the National Executive Committee is the highest decision-making body in the absence of the National Convention. Whereas National Executive Committee convened in an emergency setting on Saturday, May 18, 2024, to take important administrative decisions, including post-election review and effecting some changes in the party national leadership structure. Realizing that recent actions of some members of the National Executive Committee, including the National Vice Chair for Administration, National Deputy Secretary for Operation, and the IT Monrovia County Chair, grossly contravene all principles, values, and constitution of the party. Aware that Article 18, Section 6G, prohibits any action that embarrasses the party or that brings the party to public disrepute, as may be determined by the National Executive Committee, National Convention, County Chapter of Branch of 3 parties. Now, therefore, we the members of the National Executive Committee sitting in an emergency session hereby resolve to the following. 1. That a recent statement issued and other public appearances on radio made by Mr. K. Matthew Shine, Mr. Jeremiah Pay, and others do not represent the views of the National Executive Committee of the Movement for Economic Empowerment MOVE. 2. That Mr. Robert N. Sammy and other Executive Committee members who are outside the country on national duties continue to enjoy the support and protection of the National Executive Committee of the party until such time they are limited by law in keeping with the bylaws and constitution of MOVE. 3. That the Executive Committee is deeply troubled and concerned about false accusations and attack on its political leader, Ambassador D. Maxwell Sakimia Sr., former Minister of Foreign Affairs, by agents paid by hidden hands for political reasons. 4. That the National Executive Committee reaffirms support to its political leader, Ambassador D. Maxwell Sakimian Sr., and reaffirms commitment to the ideal and values of Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, and its Senate bearer, former President George Monrovia. 5. That the following partisans, including Mr. Matthew Shine, membership is hereby suspended for time indefinite from the Movement for Economic Empowerment for actions on becoming of partisans, and requested to submit the Special Investigation Committee headed by Partisan Wellington Cooper immediately upon the publication of this resolution. Number 6, that the Special Investigation Committee, whose members include Mr. Anthony Wilson, Madam Rosetta Jones, Mr. Jenkins Nagbe, Secretary, Awa Togwabu, Member, Estella Smith, is hereby constituted to investigate Mr. Matthew Chan, suspended IT National Chairman, Mr. Jeremiah S. P., suspended IT Secretary General, and Mr. Patrick Kemo, suspended IT Monrovia County Chairman. These partisans are accused of violating several provisions of the party's constitution and report to the National Executive Committee within 7 days on May 25, 2024. 7. That the following partisans are hereby endorsed as stated: Mr. Prince G. Min, IT National Chairman, Mr. Aston Holler, IT National Secretary General, and Mr. Jeffrey Siafa, IT Chairman for the Monrovia County of the Movement for Economic Empowerment, MOVE, until otherwise decided by the National Executive Committee. Number 8, that the national leadership of the Movement for Economic Empowerment, MOVE, is hereby authorized and further mandated to communicate this position of the National Executive Committee of the party to the National Elections Commission, NEC, of Liberia within 4 working days from the day a final decision is made on May 25, 2024. This document is done on the 18th day of May 18, 2024 in the headquarters of MOVEE. These are the national executive members whose signature in petition this all-important resolution. Number 1, Honorable Robert N. Sammy, National Chairman, Madam Rosetta Jones, National Vice Chair for Governmental Affairs, Madam Wellington Cooper, National Vice Chair for Auxiliary and Marginalized, Ms. Florence Gondo, Vice Chair for International Affairs, Mr. Abraham Newman, Vice Chair for Religious Affairs, Mr. Jonathan Wadsworth, Secretary General, Mr. C.B.A., National Treasurer, Ms. Mercy Swan, Assistant Secretary for Resource Mobilization, Mrs. Angeline Worry, National Women League Chair, Mr. Winston Gray, National Youth League Chair, Mr. Kwame Ben Yali, Chairman, River Says, Madam Gamen Waliga, Chairman of Bond County, Mr. Prince Jimin, Chairman of NEMA, Mr. Gabriel B. Tracy, Sr., Chairman of Sino, Mr. Anthony N. Wisa, Chairman of River G, Madam Meata Fama, Chairperson of Babulu, Madam Estena Smith, Chairperson of Bombay, Madam Kebe Peewee, Chairperson of Lofa, Madam Georgia Coleman, Chairperson of Keman County, Mr. Anton Wheeler, Chairman of Grand Bassa County, Madam Sarah Dine, Chairperson of Magibi, Mr. James T. Wally, Chairman of Grand Chile County, and Mr. Steve Russell, Chairman for Maryland County, including Mr. Jacob Newman, Chairman, Grand Crew County, and Astor Holler, Assistant Secretary for Record and Documentation. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your undivided attention.
Take a question?
Yes, few questions, no problem.
Okay, Obadiah Johnson from Front Page Africa. I'd like to know how did the signature of Mr. Robert Sami, who was reported to be out of the country, did surface on the resolution you are releasing today? That's one. The second one has to do, there has been mounting calls from some of your partisans and executives for MOVEE to actually withdraw from the Coalition for Democratic Change of ex-Liberian President George Weah. Where do you stand on this?
Thank you all so much. The National Executive Committee decided that those executive members that are outside of Liberia, that are willing, that will be available to form part of the NDC decision today. And as such, you know that this country is part of the digital world to the meeting, and they contributed, and the decision was unanimous. And you spoke of, you want to inquire about the Coalition for Democratic Change. MOVEE, before MOVEE going to the coalition, it was unanimously decided by the NEC. It is the NEC that has the right to withdraw or to remain in the coalition. And today, the NEC of this great party has reaffirmed its membership to the coalition.
Hello, thank you. My name is Emmanuel Colley. I report for the Liberia Broadcasting System. Of lately, MOVEE has been in the news, political wrangling, one segment supporting one side. I'm concerned with the suspension of Matthew Shenyu. What sort of difference would this make now in terms of trying to harmonize the different impacts in the party?
Thank you. You see, party is an institution, and an institution should be governed by constitution. Anyone that violates the constitution should be penalized. The party is above even the political leader. The party is above any member of the NEC. So when anyone is caught violating these rules, there should be action taken. So Marvin Shang has played a major role, yes, in his party, but he has gone wrong. So the NEC set up, constituted a committee to investigate him. So he has to be suspended pending the investigation.
How soon?
Yes, the committee was given 7 days. So after the 7 days, when the reports are out, when the committee advises the NEC to reinstate them, will be reinstated.
My name is Aaron Talu and I report for GMU Liberia. What's happening to MOVEE since he left power? With the CDC, there have been talks within the party with the power struggle.
This is obvious. In every organization where men and women are, you will always see power struggle. You will also see some greedy people who are not compliant to the rules. So anyone who is in violation should be punished, we say. So the party is an astute party. The party is among the commodity of parties in this country. So in fact, journalists are coming here today because our guys were defined and they were in the press. So that's why the NDC was necessary to come and correct the wrong.
So your party supports the national chairman to be essential to run the affairs of the party?
There are constitutions. That's why we told the former acting chair that we have to be cognizant of the fact that there are laws. There is rules on the book that when you are outside, even when you are not on mission, but once you're outside of the country, there are time stipulations. When you are there more than 6 months, NEC has to come meet and make decisions. Since the chairman, when he left from this country in January, from January up to now, he has not exceeded 6 months.
Okay, finally, does your party in any way share responsibility for the defeat of the Coalition for Democratic Change in the just ended presidential elections?
Thank you. We don't want to shift blame. We don't want to shift blame. All the players, we have been recalibrating, we have been consulting, discussing of our defeat. You understand? But if you went everywhere in this country, you will know that MOVE is visible in every part of Liberia. MOVE did excellently well, but Liberians' minds were made up. And that's the decision they make. And we can't judge them for whatever decision they make.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Your name, sir?
The Common Prince, man. I'm the IT chairman now for MOVE, and I have been the chairman for Liberia County.